Welcome to Gifted Underachievers, the podcast for mid-level creatives with delusional ambitions. Life gives everyone more than enough guilt, but creatives seem to get a double helping. In this segment, Pat and James explore what we should and should not feel guilty about. Hint, getting our work done does not make the feel guilty list. Bad parenting? Well, absolutely makes the guilty list. Hey Pat,
Yes, James.
do you have to go to the bathroom again, or can we do some content here?
Fuck you. I don't have to go. I just went.
Oh,
my
okay.
chair.
So you're good?
I'm good.
Okay. Which brings us to this segment's topic.
Is
Guilt. Huh?
kilts? Kilts?
Yeah, guilt.
Kilts?
Yes.
Like sporrans and kilts in the Highland Fling?
No, guilt with a G.
Oh, guilt!
Guilt with a G.
Guilt. Gold leaf?
Yeah. Well,
Gold
you
leaf?
know, no. Guilt as in feeling guilty.
Oh, I've heard of guilt.
Yeah, because yes. Well, you may have only heard of it. It may be something that you are unfamiliar with because as creatives, we're pretty self-centered.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Right.
You know? I mean,
That's right.
this is all about creativity is all about what I'm going to do. And I'm going to protect my creative space. And I'm going to
Mm.
not involve this and do that or blah, 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 because I'm being creative.
Yeah, and I would say replace going to with need to, because it's an imperative. I need to protect my creative space. You're not giving anybody a choice. You're not allowing them to say, "Oh, you're going to? Well, can you take out the garbage first?" No.
No,
You're
no.
halfway down the hall as they're talking.
Yeah. Yeah. And you are now even more pissed off because you're like, you have just invaded my headspace that I'm trying to get into with this garbage request.
You know what? They should feel
How
guilty.
insensitive of them
Hmm.
to say to me, can you please take out the garbage quickly before you go into your office?
So who's the feeling the guilt then?
Well, yeah, I think we know that it should be everybody else.
For having needs.
But, but in the rare instances where we might feel guilt ourselves,
Yes.
perhaps. Well, actually, here's the question, right? Here's a question to start with.
Okay.
Do you think that Picasso ever felt guilty?
Oh, Pablo Picasso, the famous
Oh,
Picasso?
yes, the famous Picasso. Not the
Did
guy at
he
the
ever?
tapas bar.
Fuck no. I don't think he felt a second of guilt at any point in his entire life, but I've never met the man, so what do I know?
Yeah, I never met him either, but his vibe does not scream guilt.
No, his vibe screams, I got here by protecting my creative space. So,
Yeah,
and you know what? The wine's pretty good here. You've been sitting on my couch for 20 minutes. What do I have to feel guilty about? I'm fucking off to my studio now, and you can let yourself out.
yeah. Say Andy Warhol.
Oh, he was,
I don't imagine he felt.
I don't know. He was a cluster of interesting traits. Who knows if guilt
That's
was in
true.
there?
That's true. He was a cluster of interesting traits. To get more serious, you and I have had have relationships, kids, parents we've taken care of, the whole nine yards. And we were not the type of people to say, fuck you all, have a miserable childhood if that's what you choose to do, because I'm going to be over here doing my writing.
Hmm.
That was not
Hmm.
our way. And
No.
so we are capable of feeling probably guilt to perhaps an excess at times. But the question is, as a creative, have you ever felt guilt about it? And
Yeah.
if why? How do you and what would you say about it?
Well, thank you for, I will tell you first. When my kids were little and I was writing a novel after a shitty novel, and when I was doing my master's in writing, I never went to the movie theater with them and my husband. It was them doing their thing, and I would take that time to write. I felt
Mhm.
like I was missing out. I didn't necessarily feel guilty because they were having a treat. They were with their dad. It was good dad time. I was home a lot, you know. So I think there's that kind of guilt, but I'll tell you when the last time I felt guilt about having my own way creatively. Well, last year, 2025, I went to a writing uh, workshop. I think it was 3 days, and it was a long drive away. It was to drive through some mountains and stuff to a very isolated community. And right after 3 days after I got back, my mom died. And I, in
Mhm.
retroactively, felt guilt about not having been at her bedside for the entire week before she died. But I didn't know she was going to die. I thought she was going to live forever at the
Mhm.
hospice. So, yeah, I felt guilt then. And then I felt guilt yesterday and again this morning when I was thinking about the fact that I'm going to take a month and go to Palermo, Spain. Kidding, not Palermo. Joking. It's an
A
in-joke.
secret location in
A
Spain.
secret location in Spain to work on a novel. And I realized that one of my kids, the one who lives with me, may find that very difficult, actually, because I
Mm.
provide a lot of structure and support and encouragement. And so I hadn't really been thinking about the fact that anybody was gonna miss me. I hadn't
Mhm.
thought of that. It didn't occur to me. And so
Mhm.
now I realize that's probably going to be an issue. And so, or not an issue necessarily, but something to talk about, try and fill in some gaps, create a plan for that kind of stuff. And
Mhm.
yeah, my initial thing was, wow, should I even be doing this?
Mhm. Really? You had
Yeah.
second thoughts?
I considered, is this something I should be doing?
Oh, okay. So how did you rationalize your boondoggle?
What does that even mean? Which part was the boondoggle?
Going to Spain? No.
Wow, that's your reporter style.
Yeah, I'm asking the hard questions here, and there are no bathroom breaks, Dobie.
I'll keep it quick because we're not here to lambaste me. I didn't rationalize my damn boondoggle. I went, you know what? Life is hard. Not for me right now, but uh, I did a lot of shit when I was 20 that was very, very difficult. And so I'm not taking anything away from anybody. I think it'll be actually a good reset. Um,
Yeah.
I did rationalize it. You're 100% right. Plus, I'd already paid for the accommodation and the airfare, and I don't have the money to give either one up, and I don't have a good enough reason.
Yeah. Well, and as the outsider with the outsider perspective, I would say do it. Go.
Yeah, I need to.
I mean,
It's not optional.
getting, one, it's something that's going to be good for what you want to do, and it's a great purpose, and you're going to move a lot of your project forward and all that kind of stuff, and just knowing, being friends and knowing the last 3 or so years that
It's
you've
been a
had, well,
shit
you
show.
deserve it. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
And also, getting uncomfortable is not the worst thing that anybody can go through. And I'm not just talking about, your daughter,
Hmm.
all of us.
Yeah.
Anytime I travel anywhere, I always immediately have a sense of like guilt.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be doing this. I should be working. I've made promises to clients. I'm letting myself down because I'm not doing my own writing. I'm not doing, all these things that I should be doing, all these balls that I keep juggling up in the air.
Uh-huh.
If I go away, I'm not juggling anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I immediately, even just like there's the moment of, yeah, let's go away, da 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 da, right? Excitement, and then the guilt hits. Like,
Hmm.
oh,
Hmm.
what am I thinking?
Yeah.
I've got these people who are depending on me. What am I doing? And but the bottom line is you got to do that kind of stuff.
It's your life.
Yeah, and so we're gonna feel, because we're compassionate, people who are capable of feeling a full array of emotions, like
What?
everybody. uh Even though we have our moments of being criminally obtuse, uh there is
Oh,
no shortage of shit to feel guilty about.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the same, I carry a guilt and it's always around kids, right? Or not
Mm.
always, but there's, kids can make you feel guilty all on their own. Like you don't actually have to do anything. But choosing to do this for work had the benefit of me being able to be home for them because
Hmm.
there's a lot of my life was single parenting. But at the same time, it created a certain instability and unpredictability and a need for me to be constantly busy
Hmm.
that I don't think I was present with them, but there were definitely large blocks of time where I probably wasn't as present with them as I should have been or what would
Hmm.
have wanted to be. And who knows if I talk to them, they might be like, "Oh no, you're always around driving us nuts."
Yeah.
Uh, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, beyond the kids, there's being having accountability to others
Mm.
is definitely guilt inducing, provoking the pre requisite for feeling guilty. And so for you and I who work with a number of clients, people who we like doing projects we really believe in and feel strongly about, and that we feel strongly about our own work, it can be really hard to take a break. That can
Yeah.
induce, there's all kinds of ways to induce guilt.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also think guilt is a fruitless emotion in that it bears no fruit. Unless you've actually wronged somebody, like
Mhm.
there's nothing good that comes out of guilt if you haven't wronged anybody. So I guess we have to get clear with ourselves on, am I actually harming anybody by doing this thing? You can't really tell. I mean, 2020 hindsight is great, Should I have gone to see Frozen a bunch of times at the movie theater? Uh, would will it make a hair of difference? Or is it better that I did my shit and that the kids can see that I've got a couple of books out in the world and that I run a business and that have some agency over my own life? Will that set them a better example in the end as women
Mhm.
in the 21st century? I would say probably, yeah, that it was worth it for me.
Yeah. Well, and that was my thinking, early on was like, okay, I can get a job that I don't like, but it's going to be very predictable and all that kind of stuff. Or I can really try and stretch myself and try and do something and have a career and live a life that, you know, maybe is going to be more difficult uh,
Hmm.
and less consistent, but I'm going to be modeling a certain behavior, somebody who's willing to take risks for things
Yeah.
that I would hope my kids would see and want to live themselves.
Yeah. 100%.
So whether that's the right choice in the end, who knows?
I mean, we'll never know.
But it's the way it went, and it's the way I
Exactly.
thought about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was rationalization because, it's like, Quincy, my son, who's the oldest, is coming into the world, and it's
Hmm.
like, all right, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, this is it, and I stepped up to the plate for sure.
Hmm.
You know, but I guess you can feel guilty about the choice because you can think about the what ifs
Hmm.
and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. But then there's more the present guilt, which is I
Yeah.
need to do things, or we as creatives, I'll broaden it out. We as creatives need to do things for ourselves,
Uh-huh.
keep ourselves emotionally healthy, to keep our careers moving forward, and those kinds of things that can provoke a certain amount of guilt
Yeah.
because we're not. It's like yeah, I always need to have the nose to the grindstone.
Yeah. I agree. And also I think sometimes I remember talking to a mom when I was, like when my kids were younger, I was on the version of whatever you call the PTA. Here it's the parent advisory committee, and I was on that thing for 8 years in various positions because my two kids are 4 years, 4.5 years apart. So I was
Mm.
always part of the parent executive in their school, and I just a shit disturber, like hardly ever contributing much. But no, I'm joking. I was pretty efficient. No, I was good. I was good. And I think one of the moms said to me in the playground, she was a musician, and she said, sometimes I feel guilty for spending so much time on my music. And my response to that, and it's still kind of a response, is that, well, at least you're not a crack addict. Like, let's put it in perspective,
Yeah.
You're bringing beautiful things into the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, there's a lot of truth to that, but then you can play the flip side, which is like, should I feel guilty that, every waking moment of my life is about, my art and my kids are constantly trying to get in the way, but at least I'm not addicted to heroin and I haven't murdered people, you know?
Yeah, no, this was me saying it to somebody else, not me saying it to myself.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah,
it's like you can go round and round on this stuff.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think, as people, we've got to be good at drawing our own lines.
Hmm. Yeah, I do think guilt is in some ways pointless. If you have wronged somebody, then do your best to like atone, to make it
Uh,
up, to even just an apology. Even just
mhm,
ask them, did that hurt you? Did that hurt you? Was that harmful for you? And if you want to, right? But if
mhm.
you are not sure if you harmed somebody or not, and you can't really get your head around it, and you don't feel good about asking them, or you don't feel like it's their problem to help you figure out your shit, then just assume you didn't. And if they have a problem, they can come and tell you, and you don't need to feel
Yeah.
guilty.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what you're pointing, to the use of guilt it triggers that thinking.
Yeah,
Am I doing something that's causing harm to myself or somebody else?
yeah,
Right. And is there a reason, like I'm having this sensation, I'm feeling something.
yeah,
And so is it real or is it just my mind trying to fuck with me?
yeah. And excuse me, in my own case, the thing that I was feeling guilty about yesterday about leaving for a month to go write a book. Um, I know what I need to do, which is to ask, what can I provide that will make this easier for you? What do you see yourself
Mhm.
needing? And how can we put that in place before I leave? And then it is not a source of guilt, it is a source of joint problem solving.
Yeah. Yeah. It's seeking an amend by saying, okay, I wasn't thinking about that. It's still, this is something I want to do, need to do, have to do.
Mm.
But how can we make it work for both of us?
Yeah,
And
I'm not even going to say I wasn't thinking about that because I was thinking about that. I just wasn't taking it seriously until recently.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't see any need to apologize for doing something that's important to you, as
Yeah.
long as you do your best to look after everybody who's impacted by
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
I'm not just scaring you with my terrifying attitude.
No, it's your owl eyes penetrating deep into my brain.
Analyze.
I think I'm
Woo!
having an ocular uh, breakdown here.
I really should be running an interrogation program.
You're a predator. That's what you are.
A what?
Yeah.
You should really feel guilty about calling me a predator. If it wasn't
No,
so
you should feel
funny.
guilty about being a predator.
Okay. Well, thank you. I don't, but thank you for suggesting that.
Now you should totally feel guilty for not feeling guilty. How could you not feel guilty?
Because I think you're full of shit.
Selfish. I'm not getting anything that I want.
What do you want, James? Just come out and tell me.
I want the owl eyes to go away.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better?
It's worse. It's worse because you look like you're dead.
For listeners, I just closed my eyes. I'm not sure if anybody's still listening. Are we cutting it off before this?
Thanks for listening to Gifted Underachievers, the podcast for mid-level creatives with delusional ambitions. We'd love to hear how we're doing, so please leave a comment, join our chat page, or send us an email at giftedunderachievers@substack.com. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere else you like to download your podcasts. And please, hit the share and or subscribe button. It really does help a lot. And as always, please have a wonderful, awesome day.